here in downtown St. Thomas with Grayden, Laing, and I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to start off with the name of your business because you do so many things. So we're about to paint. What of your many businesses does that? So what portfolio does that fall under?
This is Laing Studios. Okay. All the art is under Laing Studios. So what we're going to do is we're going to do basically like a painting class for how to paint your pet. So we've got Joanne, who's Paul and Sandra's cherished dog.
Yep.
And we are going to paint a portrait of Joanne today.
I'm excited. I've got no tangible artistic ability whatsoever, but if there's even just a little bit of inspiration or spark in me, you're gonna help pull that out today.
I feel Paul probably has a lot of inner talent that he has not realized himself, and he's probably just underrepresenting the amount of talent he has, which I'm sure is considerable.
Now we'll get to painting in a second, but I want to kind of cover a few of the other things you do. So like you mentioned established media. Tell us about that and what that does. And I know I worked with you before, but explain it for the viewers.
So established media is really about taking media and helping companies and businesses and organizations in our community tell their stories. So it's taking video of, say, someone who's making amazing food in our community and showing how they craft the food and then take it from the kitchen to the plate and out to the consumer, and allowing them to kind of share their stories so you can see these amazing places in our community, because we have a lot of great businesses. So established media is about helping people establish their media presence, because we can do that now very easily. There's a lot of different platforms for it, whether it's your own website or Instagram or Facebook. So established media is helping people establish their media presence so they can get their stories out in the world.
Love it, love it. And you know what, the Chamber of Commerce itself works with established media, takes advantage of that. We're big in supporting over 500 members, but you know, we're a little small shop, and it's so important that we're able to extend what we do. Now, you're out and about as well too. Like, you know, you're big into the community building, connecting, and pumping the tires of St. Thomas and Elgin County. Is that good business development? What's the inspiration behind that?
I think it's really good business development, but for me, it's not really about the business side. It's about growing up here and seeing all the amazing things that we have. But at the time, like, I didn't really know that it was that good. You know, if I had to go away to, like, you know, be successful as an artist or as a filmmaker or whatever else I was pursuing at the time. So I was like, oh, I got to go. And that's what the initial kind of like feeling was.
And you did go, right?
I did. I left.
Where did you go?
I went to all over the place. I went to Chicago and Toronto and New York and lived there in those different places. And Michigan, I worked as well. And then I was like, you know what? We have all the best stuff right here in St. Thomas, Elgin County. And I need to come back and like just really take advantage of that and let the world know. So that's a part of the whole media company part of stuff, because like you see all these films, they're made in all these other places. But as a filmmaker, what you realize is that they're taking the best angles to tell these stories. We can do that in our community as well. You just need to do it, which is the hard part, just getting out and doing it.
Well, your passion is palpable. And I want to see the disastrous Joanne that I'm going to. It's going up on the wall regardless. So I mean, what am I taking away? We've got all this acrylic paint. We've got some beautiful little canvases here.
Yeah. So we're going to start with this. We're going to start with an undercoat color, so something that you want to kind of show through as you're painting.
Okay.
So if there's a color that kind of represents Joanne to you, pick that, and we'll use that as the undercolor. So what would you say Joanne, like her color, her inner color is?
Well, I'm feeling like a purple.
Okay.
Like a.
So this would be a really nice purple here. This Windsor violet.
And then I'm
just
in there.
Pick one of those squares and just pop it right in there.
It has been a long time since I've had an art class whatsoever. I think I'm going to go back to grade 10 at St. Joe's with Mr. Quenville.
I'll steal a little bit of that as well.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing the same thing.
We'll move in lockstep here, as they say.
And have I chosen an appropriate brush, or is that too little based on the brush that you have?
It's whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay.
You're basically kind of like sketching it in. So you're going to kind of look here. You've got the picture of Joanne on the monitor here.
Okay.
And what you're going to do is you say, okay, these are kind of like the rough shapes.
Now, are you offering, like thinking about like Laing Studios here, are you offering classes typically, or you're most of this is commission?
Most of this is commission. I used to do a lot of classes, but then I had a baby and I had no more time, and my wife was like, you need to let some things go. And so I was like, okay, I can let the classes, you know, I'll pick them up once things are more balanced. So yes, I do pet portraits, it's so fun to do that when people send you a picture of their pet and you're able to create this image and then send it to them. It's a memoriam, well, not sometimes it's a memoriam, but it's a memory of their pet that they can kind of cherish.
And we will get to painting, I promise. But I also want, thinking about like over the course of the summer in St. Thomas, you know, we've really invested into the arts and culture, and you know, which is really included in the murals. You have a mural. One of the murals is yours.
I
so
do.
Where's that?
It's in the Horton Market is the one I'm working on right now. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the interior space and kind of making it into a place where you can kind of walk into a painting. So I'm working on the walls right now, and then I'm going to do the roof, and then I'm going to do the floor. But if you're waiting for that to occur and you want to see another piece, you can go to the rail yards and you can see the dancers that I painted, which are from photos of the Step Above Dance Crew, which is a local dance studio in St. Thomas.
Alrighty, I'm following your lead. So
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab in a little bit of water. So the brush is
I'm already not doing it right because I've dabbed it into.
You don't want to go.
I'm going into the water now. Okay,
Yep.
yes.
So then you kind of like, you just get a feel. So you can see kind of like the shape of Joanne's head there, and you can kind of just like rough it in.
Oh God.
And be like, okay, like that's her like ear there, and these are her eyes kind of going in. And like, don't worry about getting it perfect.
Because if I let it, I was stopped already.
You don't want to be too afraid of the edges either. Right? It's really easy to be too afraid of the edge. You might be coming over like this way a bit too much.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that ear stays nice and like close over there as you're kind of painting that part in there. And you can see there's a split in her head, so you're kind of breaking it down. You're saying, okay, this is a dark shape. You kind of get that. And kind of think about it as, I don't know if your art teachers ever told you about planes. Like you're breaking it all into planes. Like if you were to make it into a geometric shape. You know, like 007, GoldenEye, the old days, there were polygons for those video games. You kind of want to think about it like that. It's really good, you know. Those video games taught people a lot about art, and they didn't even know it. It's kind of like a secret way. You're playing like Mario Kart or whatever you might like.
Mario, I love Blast from the Past. You can tell that we're late 70s, early 80s kids over here.
Oh, pop and chip parties.
I know exactly. Whatever, being like
greatest.
every birthday party, like nice and boiled hot dogs.
Oh,
You know?
yes.
Oh, sorry, I'm not doing the dipping. All right. Now we're Grayden. Obviously, we're here to promote small businesses, entrepreneurs like you. Clearly, you know I'm a big fan already. But where would folks? What's the easiest way to connect with you?
Instagram for looking at what I'm doing. That's the best way. So pop on Instagram, Laing Studios, and you can see all the artwork kind of going up there. And also same for Established Media. Established Media is more on Facebook. So if you want to see what Established Media is doing, go on Facebook. You can see all the stuff on there. And then of course there's the websites, establishedmedia.ca, langstudios.com. But it's harder to keep those up. You know, it's really fast with the social media to just pop it on there and have people know what you're doing and then have people follow. So please follow the social medias, you know, the Laing Studios, Established Media, and that's the best way to see what's happening.
Okay. So
This is looking really good, Paul. This. I gotta say this.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I'm gonna blame I didn't dip my.
You were dipping your brush in the water
No,
enough?
not enough. That's what it was. So I'm a little bit concerned at this point where ours don't vaguely look anything like each other, but
So this is a prime example of like the left brain taking over from the right brain. And right now your left brain is going all symbols and being like, okay, like, you know, this is the way it should look.
Okay.
And then it's making you do that, and the right brain's just being like, all right, I'm just gonna go have a drink while this is happening because this is pretty awkward. If you look at mine, there's a lot. It's more abstract. Like I'm just working with the shapes. So I'm like, okay, and right now it looks like a heart more than a face.
it does look like a heart. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, you know, which also appropriate, you know. So it looks more kind of abstracted, whereas you've really gone in for the details already because your left brain's going, now we don't have a lot of time to go into all the details, which is where, you know, if I was doing this as like a pet portrait class with a whole bunch of people painting their pets,
Yeah.
it'll take more time into going into like, these are your shapes and these are your ideas, and that's the kind of way you work it with that. Plus, yeah.
No, I was just gonna, and then typically, like, how would it work? Like, I mean, in my case, is it just as simple as what we did today? Like, I send you a photo, and you know, in this case, I want your quality of painting versus what I was going to be producing. Is that? Can it be that easy? Like, in
It's
terms
that
of
easy.
commission?
Yeah. Yeah. You just send me a photo and I'll just paint it out.
So you could, I mean, if you can text, you can commission a piece of artwork.
100%. If you
All
can
right.
text, you can commission.
So we've been doing this for a while,
Yeah.
and my purple looks nothing like your purple, but you've been non-judgmental so far. What is the next step in terms of our painting?
So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the colors that are actually in the picture and we're going to paint them over top of our portrait here.
So why is that? This is to give it depth. This is to what was this step for then?
This basically takes us through the rough shape
Okay.
and also gives us a cool color to kind of pop in the background.
Okay.
That is a masterpiece, Paul.
Here we go.
I quite love it. The purple and the yellow really work together well. You pulled a nice compliment there in terms of your color palette. I'm just wrapping up mine, kind of suggesting the bookshelf in the background. And we are almost done with this little portrait of Joanne, the Wonder Dog.
Really enjoyable morning here with Grayden Laing of Laing Studios, established media and community building at every turn. Grayden, thanks so much for joining us this morning. I look forward to be back on one of your shows maybe one day, perhaps even with a new mayor, but the mayor's update. And again, anything that we can do to pump the tires of our business community, if you want to do that, start by talking to Grayden.
Absolutely. Paul, thanks so much. This has been fantastic. Hope you guys have enjoyed seeing a little bit of what it's like to paint a pet portrait.